I don't want to get up. But I really want a cup of tea. Daryl's already up and is downstairs. Just let the dog out, the cat in. I don't want to get up. This morning, it's about 9 something. Yeah, it's 9:45. I've been lying in bed reading the news and nothing. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I must get up and go get tea. We're going to dye my hair. Well, we're going to dye my roots. I actually haven't even taken my hair down for a couple of days. So, as you can see, my roots are white. So first off, we need to remove this pretty colourful blue one, if I can get it past the bead, which it doesn't look like I can. So I just have to take the bead out. I don't normally bother taking my beads out, simply because hair dye just washes off them. So that's not really an issue. Daryl shouting hi from the other room. But you can see, like, my hair's a mess. I have not done any maintenance for ages. But first and foremost, we are going to dye my roots. Okay, now I have a mix of natural and synthetic dreadlocks. Most of these front ones are natural down to about there, and then I've put synthetic ones in. The back ones, these really messy ones, these are all natural. You can tell which are the natural ones because they're the messy ones. Look at that. Those are natural, those are synthetic. And they look great down to about there, where the synthetic takes over. Yeah, and then it's natural above that, so it looks really crappy. So I asked, because I've got 2 dreadlocks in my hair. This is one of them, which is Daryl's hair. This is made out of Daryl's hair, and obviously I don't want to dye it. I want to try and leave it its natural colour. So you can see where I attached it here, where round about where this gold bead is. So I'm gonna probably I'm gonna use some cling film, somebody said, start it right up here and make it as tight as possible so that we don't dye this. And I've got another one on the back at the bottom here. It's my longest dreadlock, if I can find it, she says. Of course, it's possible it may have broken. No, there it is. So yeah, that one like reaches down past my ass. So I'm going to start with the shorter one because I've got room to manoeuvre on the top. I've never done this, so I've got no idea how to go about it. I fucking hate cling film. I think you call it saran wrap in the US. It's this. Use it for food. Now what I'm going to try and do as well, you let go of it and it sort of sticks to itself and you can never undo it, is I'm probably going to just coil this up, you know, just fold it up out of the way as well, because then it will take up less room, she says, like that. And then I can just flop it out of the way, because I don't really want to cling film the whole thing, because then it'd just be annoying and difficult. So I hate this stuff. Once you kind of got hold of it, it's terrifying to put down. Okay, where'd it go? Is that it? So yeah, I'm just going to fold this up out of the way. And then when I put the cling film on, I'm going to make sure it's above all of the hair. Yeah, tight around that bit there. I'll put several layers on if I have to. So I've never done this, so this is going to be quite novel. I may have to wait until one of my kids comes to help. I'm also filming on my video camera instead of my phone, so you'll have to let me know if the quality is any different. Oh look, my hair's escaping. I might have to wrap it and then fold it. That might be the best way to do it. Oh my good God. Right, let's start that again because that was a complete and utter fail. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. Let's do it by lifting the hair out of the way. Actually, Actually, I could do it that way, couldn't I? So put the cling film down first, then put the hair on it. Like so. Can you tell I've not done this before? I should probably use a hairband or something. Right. Just I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm using the camcorder screen. I should really have a mirror. That would make life a bit easier. And I'm going to squeeze it into place. Where is my mirror? I had a mirror out here purely for the dyeing of my hair. I'm going to get my mirror. Okay, it's going to go over there. Oh, it's not perfect, it's not very tight. That's better. And now I've got to do the same thing to the one on the nape of my neck, so that'd be fun. Because that one is attached. There it is. There. And it's longer than I can, it reaches the, it's as long as my arm. So yeah, when my hair's down, it's so yeah, well I think I'm going to do it the same way because, you know, that eventually worked, kinda. But yeah, I sent these off to a lady in Wales. I cut Daryl's hair once and said, you know, could she make me some dreadlocks from his hair? So she said, yeah, sure, send it. So I sent it over to her. She had it like 3 days. And showed me a video of her making them, and which was so cool. And yeah, when I got it back, it was all locked up. This one is a bit weak in a few places. I've had to repair this multiple times, so it's quite lumpy and bumpy, but it's now starting to dread up properly, so the hair is starting to sort of lock to itself. But it's broken a couple of times and I've had to sort of repair it and all of that, which has been a bit heartbreaking. And I keep thinking, you know, I kept thinking to myself, maybe it's just too damn long, you know, but I've persevered with it. And yeah, it's now fully starting to dread right up. So, and if you've got a dread made for it, because the hair was quite short when I sent it to her, it was, you know, like 6 months worth of growth probably. So if you're making dreadlocks from quite short hair, once you've got them in, the trick is to wash them often, because clean hair dreads better than dirty hair. Okay, saying that, I haven't washed my hair in fucking ages, so you know, I'm fully expecting for some of my dreads to come out when I wash them afterwards, because like I said, I've got quite a few synthetics in here, and I installed all of these dreads myself. Because I had dreads put in professionally 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago or a year ago? A year ago. I can't remember. There's a video, go look for it. And they looked okay, but they were a bit too thin and I wasn't majorly keen on the grey colour, so I decided I was going to go back to brown. Right, so that's in. Yay. Now, I also have my dye. Yes, I'm using a box dye before anybody wants to go mad. It's Garnier Nutrice, and it is number 3, darkest brown. I also bought peonies. They're going to go in my garden at some point. I bought 2 boxes. When I dyed it last time, I did use 2 boxes, but I did dye like all of my hair, whereas this time I'm only touching. I mean, look at it, look. I'm doing the roots, so I will be going around. I will be doing all this bit where because I look like I'm going bold where the grey's coming in. So the idea is that I'm going to cover all the grey. Then I'm going to stick this bag on my head and allow it to develop. I was hoping to have some decent gloves, but my mum's thrown them all away. Thanks, Mum. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a mess. You don't need the conditioner. When you're dyeing dreads, you don't use conditioner, especially if you've got young dreads, okay? And by young, I mean under 3 years old. Do not use conditioner on dreads younger than 3 years old, because well, you can on the length, on the shaft of the hair itself, but not near the root, because conditioned hair doesn't like to dread because it's too soft. You need slightly rough hair to dread. Okay, so by all means use conditioner on your length because it hydrates your hair and it's good for your hair, but you don't. I won't be using this today. So there's my little bottle of dye and my bottle of developer and my crap gloves. Yeah, I was like, Mum, you know all those gloves that my son bought them back from work. I was like, you know all those gloves that were upstairs in the bedroom? She said, yeah. I was like, I want a pair. And she said, okay, shall I dig them out? She thought they were in a bag. They're not. So I'm going to have to use the crappy gloves that are in the box. And they are shit. Really, really, really shit. So I'm going to prep 1 box for now, because like I said, I may not need the other box. So I've squished all of that into there. I love the smell of hair dye. Now, if I recall correctly, most of this, yeah, it covers 100% of grey hairs, which is, you know, this was grey. You go back and look at some of my older videos from 6 months ago. I had almost white hair. Now, I know the box is somewhere it tells you what is recyclable on this as well. I think the developer cream is the only thing you have to throw away. Oh, here we go. Yes, this is awesome, because on the bottom of this tells you what you can chuck in the recycling bin and what you have to dispose of. The box, the developing cream, the conditioner and the leaflet can go in the recycling. That squeezy tube I just did has to go in the bin, and the used gloves have to go in the bin. So yeah, that goes in the bin. The gloves will go in the bin. Everything else out of this box goes in the recycling. That's brilliant. I think that's great that they show you that. So right, stick the lid back on your developing solution. Give it a good shake. Now, most of my grey is here on the top. You'll notice if you dye your hair, or if you've gone grey yourself, that your hair will be darker at the back, you know, and that's because the top of your head is exposed to the light a lot more, and the hair is thinner up here as well. Okay, that's why men go bald on the top before they go bald on the back, because the hair is thinner on the top. And having suffered postpartum hair loss after the birth of Daryl, I started to thin there as well. So break the top and then watch it spurt everywhere. Okay, so now I'll just stick my glovies on. These gloves are crap. They look like they're made out of fucking carrier bags, you know. I'm assuming the reason these can't be recycled is because of the dye on them, but I'd be like, well, I'll wash the dye off, but it doesn't say. I mean, look, this is what you get. These are rubbish, you know. One strong sneeze and these fuckers are gone. I'll take my watch off. I would remove like sharp jewellery as well, so I'll take my mum ring off. They're never big enough for your hands either, because they're not 3-dimensional. These are 2-dimensional gloves. It's just 2 sheets laid together, and you can never get them on, you know. And if you try, they just split. But you need to have complete dry hands before you put these on. But they're so tight around. Look how much that's tight around my fingers. I must get some decent gloves. I meant to text the guy that works over the shop the other day, because I've not seen him in the shop for a while, and say to him, you know, could I come over and pinch a pair of gloves? But he's not been over there for a while, so I assume he's still working there. He might be on lockdown. One of his they've got see, I've just split them. Fuck it, I don't care. They've got a tenant, and he works on one of the boats over to the island, and he's constantly being exposed. So right, and then you simply, yeah. These, you don't need these, not when you're dyeing dreads, okay? So you simply part your hair. Oh God, look at that white look. And you literally squirt on a nice healthy amount like so. And rub it in. Now the best way to do this, if you were doing undreaded hair, you would use your comb, slice over a layer and all that. Dreads are so much easier because you just lift them and move them. So yeah. And you literally just squirt a bit on like you're putting ketchup on your chips. That's fries if you're in America, not potato chips. So some of my synthetic dreads are fitted quite close to my scalp because the dreads that they attach to were very thin. I've also got a few spots where I missed. Can you see that? That's the colour of my natural hair, that there. You can also put it on your gloves and do it that way. And put a little bit on there to darken that up a bit. So yeah, if you don't want to squirt it directly onto your head, you can squirt it onto your hands, which I will do later on. See, I've got to give you that little bit more control, especially around the front of your head. But I find that dark hair looks thicker than light hair. I never thought of that before. Those are split as well. I can feel the draft in my fingers. I never realised that until I started going grey, that my hair looks thicker when it's darker than it does when it's lighter. But literally all I do is I go around the dreads with the nozzle and I rub it in. So at the end of this, my hair will feel wet. The sun on this way. My hair will feel wet, but it will just be the roots that are wet. Smell that dye. So I'm literally going dot 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 like that, and then I'm rubbing it in like that. Okay, and then what you do when you've done your whole head, you stick a bag on your head, and you want a plastic bag because that helps the heat. You know, instead of going under one of those dryers that they have at salons, because you know I don't have one of those, I just stick a bag and a towel on my head. I may use 2 boxes just to make sure I've got it all. So yeah, don't worry about your beads because the dye will wash off. I've never had any beads permanently discoloured by dye, and I've got beads in my hair that I've had as long as I've had dreads, and you know, they've been absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my hair all to the front like so. Dot a load of dye across my scalp, rub it in. And then I'm just going to keep going over and over my head, basically until this whole bottle's gone. It's a text message from my son. So then what I do when I feel like the majority of my scalp has been coloured, I start squirting it into my hand. So I do a nice big amount like that. I rub it in, and then I attack all the places that I might have missed, which will be the front of my head, because you know, I mean, I've got wraps and jewellery and all sorts in my hair. You definitely want to make sure you get all those little soft hairs around your ears there. So you can already see it starting to make my hair darker there, because it oxidises once it's out of the bottle. I mean, at the moment it looks like really, really weak coffee, but it will go a lovely dark brown once it's on my head. And I like it, I like for my hair to feel quite saturated, so quite wet when I'm putting this on. And really, you know, use your fingers, massage it in, get it, you know, get it nice, and my scalp actually starts to moan after a while because the amount of massaging and rubbing I do. It's also, it's handy to know when if you've got dreads where your thinner spots are. Like I know my thinnest spot is here, and also like this area here. So I'm very conscious of making sure that those are covered in dye. So let me see. It doesn't look it in the light because the light's shining off it, but it is going nice and brown now. We're doing hair dyeing on today's vlog.
Okay, cool. Oh, it all smells of
It's a bit strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a bit strong, that ammonia. Wow.
Yeah.
And don't forget to do round your hairline, because you don't want to put your dreads up in a fancy ponytail or a bun, and then someone to go, oh, you've missed your roots there, love.
Yeah, it's just... I brought my down with me.
Okay. I've used most of that dye now.
Pardon?
I'm talking back in. When I did this last time, I had dye all around my neck, because obviously I dyed the length, which was, you know, good sort of 5-6 inches. I had dye all over me. I looked like I'd been dipped. Still got quite a lot of dye, and I just keep applying it until I've used the whole bottle. Good, that means I've got another bottle when my hair next needs doing. Like I said, I'm expecting a couple of these threads to drop out when I wash them, but that's fine. They just attach back in. It's easy to do with a crochet hook. I've been dyeing dreads really since I've had dreads, and I've had dreads on and off now for what, about 10 years. More on than off. I think the longest I've been without dreads since I started dreading my hair was 6 months, and that was because I suffered a great deal of depression after my fiance died, and I cut my hair off. Right, that's the last of it. So make sure it's well massaged in, okay? See, it's looking lovely and dark now. See that? I'm not too worried about a little bit of grey around my ears, you know, I mean. If I am, I am. Fuck it. My ears are nice and black though. So now what I do is I get a carrier bag. Rinse your hands off, still with the gloves on. Just so you don't make a load of mess, really. Yeah, I'm dyeing my hair, go away, stupid animal. And then what you want to do is you want to bundle all of this into a bag. Now, that obviously means I'm going to flip my hair. So, you know, I've got the bag that it all came in there. So, flip it all over, so it's like this. Grab your bag, and if you're in the UK, I recommend bags from Iceland because they're nice and big. And then put the hair in. All of the hair in, like so. I make it nice and tight at the back because if hair's going to escape, that's where it's going to escape from, where I might not notice it. Squeeze all the air out, tighten the bag nice and tight, and then I'll just use a scrunchie to hold it. And I know I look absolutely hysterical. And I'm going to sit like this now for a good, at least half an hour. If you can, try and save your gloves. You know, you may need them, you may not. I try to remove them carefully just in case, but I won't be using these when I go and rinse my hair. So, yeah, so what time is it now? It's 12:32, so I'm going to leave this at least half an hour. I might even leave it a little bit more. I usually leave it a little bit more. And then we'll go and rinse it. I'm going to wrap a towel around my head as well to help aid with the warmth of it. There's a towel over there, I'll go and grab it. It's even better because the towel's been on the radiator. So just wrap it as you would if your hair was wet. Which is going to prove difficult because of the way I've tied it up. I'm trying to squeeze all the air out. So yeah, just going to unplug my ears so I can hear everything. So yeah, I'll sit like this for a wee while and then we'll go and rinse upstairs in the bathroom. Okay, so it's been, what is it now? It's now 1:24. I had a cup of tea. So we're going to go and rinse all this off and see what it looks like. It's very easy. Yeah, I mean, you could put your gloves back on for this because you're supposed to wet it a little bit, massage it in, and then rinse it. But I'll just have my hands, sod it. It'll rinse off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this towel off. Let's just pop you there. I'm going to take the towel off and I'm going to stick it to one side. Because it's dry, it's not wet, because I've had the bag on my head. I feel like one of those old dowager queens. So yeah, I'm going to stick this on the radiator so it can stay reasonably warm. because my heating is on a little bit. And then we're gonna rinse. But you have to give me a minute, I'll go for a pee. God, I hope this works. You know, I balanced precariously on the bath. I had this fitted about a month ago, because during lockdown I've been having to bathe my dog, and also, you know, sometimes I want to wash my hair without getting in the bath, so yeah, I had this fitted in, so yeah, I'm ready. So ordinarily I would say rinse with cold water, because that's just better for dyed hair, but I'm not rinsing with freezing hot water because I'll get a headache and I'm not having that. So I'm going to wait for the hot to heat up, and then I will slowly bring down the temperature until it is, you know, cold but not freezing cold, so, you know, blood temperature sort of thing. See how well this works. Got to take the glasses off. I do that every single time. So use your fingers to rub your scalp to help with the dye. Oh, it's so heavy. It's been so long since I got my hair wet all over. You need to also lift sections out of the way so that you can properly get the water in to like this middle section of your head. So lift bits out of the way, especially if you've got like a lot of dreads like I do. And keep changing the shower head around to do different, even if you've already done it, because more dye will come out. I think one of the cream gel thingies has failed. Because the whole thing's not brown, I don't mind, just the top of it. I hope you guys can hear me over the water. Okay. That is running pretty much clear. Oh, it gets heavy when it's wet. My neck is killing me. Now, because I have synthetic dreads, they tend to hold the water quite well. So I will get up and wring it out a lot. And I do actually mean get hold of it and wring it out, which is probably not the best way to treat them, but you know, whatever. Oh. Got dye in my eyes and all sorts. So get your towel in place. And wrap. Dry my face. You can hear my hair dripping as it hits the bath. And the trick is when you tie it is to make sure that the bottom is sealed and then tucked. Hang on. Oh, I've got water everywhere. Oh my lord. Oh. Okay. Splashed water all over my fucking bathroom. It's all over the mirror. God, I think I've even got some on the lens of my camera. Hang on a sec. These are not designed to get wet. Can you see all the water? I was going to prop you on that, but it's dripping. Just grab a towel. Right. Well. Now, let's put you there. That's it. Yeah. So while you're doing this bit, this is the ideal time to also check to make sure you've got all the dye off of your body. It should come off with just, you know, using. Crap, my phone's covering more. So that's a good thing this is waterproof this way. It should just come off with judicious use of hot water. Okay, so the best thing to do is find yourself a mirror Like so, just check yourself over. So I've got a few bits on the back of my neck. I don't know how well you can see this. The screen says it's quite shadowed, but I've got nowhere else to prop you. So I'm going to use a flannel. I'm going to use my son's flannel. A bit of hot water and just wipe all those bits that, you know, have dye on around the back of your neck is the worst place. And then don't forget to do this bit. I've always wanted a widow's peak, you know, where it comes forward into a peak. I used to know this woman that had one, and it looked really, really nice. Not that she ever did anything with her hair, but... If you've got piercings as well, make sure you clean the dye off from around your piercing holes so that you don't get any nasty infections in them, because the dye will create infections if you allow the ink to sit in the holes. So always make sure, I usually take my plugs out to be honest, but yeah, always make sure your holes and your piercings, so hang on, let's see. My ear is quite dark there with dye on it, so I'm gonna give it a good clean with the flannel, and just warm water will get it off, you know. Okay, nice and clean. Cover my ear back. I don't like my ears popping out, they look, it feels funny. I'll just wash that flannel off. And that's it. I'm now gonna let this dry. I'll probably swap the towel out for another one in about 15-20 minutes and just dry, you know, dry myself off, and then sit with the towel on my head for maybe another, a dry towel on my head for about another 20 minutes, and yeah, also make sure all the dye's off your glasses. Yeah, and then it will just air dry naturally. Any dreads that have been loosened will be tightened up tonight when it's a bit drier. Don't tighten wet dreads because you will weaken them. So yeah, I will tighten them up when they're dry. If any fall out in a minute, they will be put aside until they're dry and will be reattached later on tonight. So yeah, I hope you found that informative, and I'll see you later. Ooh, you're wonky. It looked too wonky. There you go. Is that a bit better? That's a bit better. So I'm sitting out in the garden because it's quite a nice day. I thought I would unwrap my head. Oh, it's cold when you take that off though. My main one is, did this survive without being dyed chocolate brown? And yes, it has. Fan-fucking-tastic. Where's the other one? This one I felt get wet, but this one has survived as well. So that's really, really, really good news. So, what about the rest of it? Oh, there you go. No more grey. That looks quite good, I think. Hang on, let's pick you up so you can see in the sunlight. Yeah, I think I got most of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry, and then a bit later on I'm going to add some more synthetic dreads in, and they will sit at the root and it will just give me a lot more body and boomph. But for now I'm going to eat some lunch because I'm starving. She comes out in the garden during the summer. She will sit in front of them and scream at them, and then be really disgusted when whoever it is doesn't like give her attention.
I'll give her attention.
We have tea! Yay! Watch this, look. Look at this, look. There we go, roly. It's disgusting, isn't it?
It's adorable. It's
She's
cute.
gotten so fat over the years as well. But she will actually like shout at you to come out into the garden to do that, so she can roll about while you fuss her belly. It's just, it's so embarrassing. I hope she doesn't do this to the general public, because, you know, I would be so humiliated. I can see your belly. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, look at the face. Elsa! Elsa! Psst, 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 psst. She's like, I'm not talking to you. You say rude things about me. There's a puppy. There's a puppy out in the garden. Hi, puppy face. She loves the garden. Sis. She's like, no, there is smells that I has to smell. She'd probably go and poop on my garden now. Sis. Hey, ignorant boo. Hey. She's also a bit deaf, so that doesn't help. Hi. Hi, pretty girl. What you doing? I said, hi. You want to say hi, baby? So what you got, Mama? Mama got camera on you. Yeah. There's my baby. Look at that face. She's so beautiful girl. Yes, you is. You is a beautiful girl. She's like, stay still so I can rub my face all over your hand. Oh.
It's a hopper. I think.
What?
I think it's a hopper.
What, grasshopper? I've got loads of them.
Oh yeah, flying right here, right?
Oh, it's a hoverfly. There's the putty cat again. It's my disgraceful soon-to-be vegetable patch. So yeah, it's totally overgrown because it's not been touched since what, July, August, I think, last year. So that really needs to be dug over. Anybody want to come and help me dig over my vegetable patch so that I can actually, you know, plant vegetables in it? But I mean, look at the fucking state of it. Look, I would like to plant veggies in it. And it's quite nice because I've got a shadowed section in it as well. So it gets a little bit of shadow on it, thankfully. Look, it's even got a fucking nettle in it. Jesus. Okay, hi guys. This is the aftermath of the dyeing. Now you've seen the footage of me dyeing my hair. You saw how much I rubbed it in. So could somebody please tell me why I look like a bird has taken a shit on the top of my head? How did I miss all of that? You know? I could have sworn I lifted these up, but apparently I didn't, and I've missed that entire area. I mean, look at that, that's awful. My scalp's quite red. It didn't like me dyeing it this time. This is life as somebody with psoriasis. So yeah, so I'm a bit pissed off about that. But, you know, that's beside the point. So, what am I doing now? Well, Daryl's back to school in less than 12 hours, and I'm not already. I'm also considering what to do about this load of hair here. Do I use my crochet hook and pull it all into that dread? Okay. Or shall I make a new dread with it? It'll be a shorty though, because I don't have an extension to put on it that's thin enough, and it will be a thin one. You know, I mean, I'm talking sort of like mega thin for now anyway, until it thickens up a bit. I don't know, I'm having a think. So anyway, we're going to start off by labelling some stuff. So I've got my label maker, which will do for the water bottle. That's all I need that for. These are great because you type it and you print it, and then to get it off, if you bend it in half, the backing is already split for you to make it easier. Love It's such a clever idea. First one I did, I was here for ages picking at it, going, you know, this is fucking impossible. This is supposed to speed things up, because I didn't realise that, you know, it was it had that kind of label on it. There you go. So that'll stay on there. It probably won't last, but you know, I can always print another one. Now, for his clothes and everything else, I have, let's put that up there. I will show you with his bag. Now, this is his bag for school, and what I'm going to do is probably on that bit. Oh, there's a name tag there. Awesome. The school recommended to us when he first started at school, this company, I can't remember what, oh, Stamptastic they're called, and they're brilliant. This set cost me probably about it didn't come in this box. Disclaimer, it did not come in this box. This is a box from a pen that I bought, Moonman pen, and I keep it here quite simply because it's ideal size. And what it is it's a little stamp with Daryl's name in it and some stays on ink, you know, and I bought the whole kit for about 10 quid, I think it was. So the idea is that you open it up, the lid's quite firm on there, and I'm weak, that's all. And it's a nice size strip for your stamp. So, you know, you ink your stamp up, put your lid back on, yeah, don't be lazy because it will dry out otherwise. And then you open up the bag and there you go. It's stamped with his name. And because it stays on ink, it's permanent. So that's ideal. So now I have to go through this bag of stuff. So I'm going to move that little box over there, along with that little bag. I've got my ink and my stamper, and I'm basically just going to go through and stamp all of his clothes ready for tomorrow. We have got some school trousers. I hope all this fits because I haven't even tried it on him. Some shorts for school, some jogging bottoms for school, 3-pack of those, and 4 polo shirts. So yeah, I should probably try it all on him before he goes to school, but he's pretty average in size, so if anything it might be slightly big. We'll see. I also need to stamp his waterproofs and then pack a bag. And they do different things throughout the week. On Tuesdays he's going to be doing PE, but he will go to school in his PE kit. So I don't know whether that's shorts and trousers or what, but I need to write the teacher a letter just to say, you know, I'm not quite sure how this all works. Could you let me know? And go from there. But after tomorrow everybody will know he's back in school anyway, so because that's one of the other mums. So yeah, because we haven't told anybody. This is a total surprise for everybody. Nobody except the school knows that he's going back, and my family obviously. Yeah, nobody knows except for us. See, these shirts are massive. Oh my gosh, these are like huge, and he's quite average in size. That might be useful. Let's put that down there. Yeah, no, that's perfect actually. So we've got a couple of shirts there. I'll only do a couple for now. I can always do the other 2 later. I do want to do all of these joggies and take the horrible itchy labels off, because he will need these for, they do a thing called Forest School, where it's outdoor learning, and that is like messy and all of that lot. So there's labels all over it. Oh, they're attached together. Okay, not for very much longer. So what I will do is I will stamp these white labels with his name. That's a good way to put them together. Stop people swapping them around and shit like that. So yeah, there's enough room on there to... So he doesn't... The grey ones actually, he could probably stay at home, but I might put them in as like a spare change of clothing. he needs dark for school. This is lighter than it's showing on the camera. This is like a dark grey. Then I've got a light grey and a black pair. I might keep the black pair for PE and then the dark grey for forest school, and then just put the light grey in as a change for, you know, when it's wet. Might do it like that. So all of these need to be labelled. Put those there. Those there. Then we got 2 pack of shorts. I don't know whether he's going to need both of these, so I'm literally going to just stamp the blue ones, because the other ones he can wear like at home. Although I don't know whether he wants red, so I'm not actually going to stamp these until I know whether it's red shorts or blue shorts that they want, because I've got both there. So I'll put those down with the other ones. And then we've got the school trousers, which, you know, these look quite nice. Oh, they've got the button waist. Oh, thank God for that, because he's actually quite skinny looking. You know, oh, I like how this all goes together. That's quite clever. Nice. And I know people who junk journal are going to be screaming at me, why aren't you keeping all of that? Because I don't like clothing labels in my journals. Just, I don't know why, I just don't. So we've got a couple of pairs of trousers and enough shirts that you could change every day without me needing to panic about washing. Right, I know I ripped the other one with my fingers, but for some reason I can't rip these ones. They're a bit stronger than the T ones. Okay, so those are all ready. So we'll start off by doing the trousers. Oh, hang on, there's a label. These stupid plastic labels piss me off. They're not good for the environment. You know, they're dangerous, they're stupid, they kill fish, and all of that. So I'm going to get on and do some stamping, and I'll hyperlapse through this bit, I guess. I'm going to find something to watch while I do it. Don't know what. You guys got anybody you're watching at the moment? So who is it? Refer some people to me. So that went a lot quicker than I thought it would. It was like 5 minutes. That's good. So that's done, thankfully, for now. I'll do the rest of his uniform as and when it's required, basically. I need to write a little letter to go in to the teacher to say this is what he's got with him. You know, does anything else need to come in? What colour shorts do you want him to wear? You know, that kind of thing. I'm sure that might even be on the website. I'll have to have a triple check. Because he didn't require a PE kit in reception year, but he does now that he's year 1. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, something else I was going to say, right? I never noticed this until I was watching back my makeup vlog that I did for you guys the other day. And I've always prided myself on the fact that I don't fuck with my eyebrows, you know, I don't pluck them and then draw them back in. But I didn't realise how thin they actually look this side, you know. Now, I've never plucked them, I don't do anything to them. That side looks worse. The psoriasis has obviously been at it. Doesn't look that bad when I look in the mirror, but looking at it on camera, they look really, you know, it looks like I've got eyebrows that are that long on the camera, and I have no idea what to do about that. I don't know how to make my eyebrows look better. I really don't, because I don't want to do it to look really fake. So I need to do something about this. Let's see if we can make that little thing of dread there, and I'll tidy up this as well so you can see how it's done. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. I left my crochet hook in the other room. So this is what I use. This is a 0.75mm crochet hook. So it's very, very, very tiny. Excuse me. And what you do is you make sure that your hair is all separated from other strands, because dreads, when you wash them, they turn into like fucking Velcro. And they want to eat each other. So I'm going to deal with this bit first. I'll take my glasses off. I'm going to deal with this bit first. So you find the dread nearest to it, which is going to be this one with Daryl's old teething necklace on. Looks like it's been a little bit dyed from the dye. And you gather all of the hair into it. Now the way I do it is that the softer hair is here at the back and the lock is in front of it. And then you hold your hook with I hold it so that the bit of the hook that curls up like that is on the same side of the hook, because the hook's got a flat bit. So the hook is facing upwards at the moment, and I put my thumb on the same side. Yeah, so that I always know the hook is pointing towards my thumb, so the hook is going that way. Okay, so what you do is you get all of your hair, you see it there behind the lock itself. You go in through the lock, so you hold it between your thumb and your two forefingers, and you go in through the lock like that, and then you sort of scoop the hair into the lock. Now you can, if you've not got a sensitive scalp like me, pull it all the way through. And what you would do in that case then, like that one, see that? I pulled that all the way through, is you then turn the lock and you pull it back again. I pull it just to the inside of the lock. Sometimes it's sticking out just a little bit. But the way you want to do it is you want to do it so that when the hook goes in between your thumb and your forefingers, it's not pointing down to this thumb, it's more pointing to the side. Otherwise you end up grazing your thumb, piercing your thumb, scratching your thumb to smithereens, because these little fuckers are sharp, I can tell you. But yeah, the idea is that you put all the hair inside, and see, it's all slowly disappearing. Sometimes it helps to sort of get it all together, but I find that sometimes a little harder to get hold of with my hook. Yeah, I snagged it. And you'll feel the root tighten as you do this. So and then you want to make sure I get hold of the lock and I twist it slightly so that I can tighten this root area. You see how I've just tightened that all of a sudden? You want to make sure when you do it that you evenly work around the lock, otherwise you'll end up with a wonky lock basically. And you want to make sure you go all the way down, so because I've got quite fluffy dreads naturally. But the texture of my hair changed as I got older and started going grey. Don't worry, this is nowhere near as sore as it looks on camera. It looks awful on camera. And there you go, I've tightened that up and pulled in all the loose hair. You know, so let's have a look. See, that side's quite messy, so we'll pull that to one side. See, that's right. So we'll pull all my hair to one side except for that lock there, because we're going to work on that. Oh yeah, this is the Daryl lock that I didn't want to dye, and it survived really, really well. Needs a bit of tightening there though. Like I said, it's loose. I've repaired that about 5 fucking times since it was done. So I'm going to gather all the hair together in there. And it's a slightly higher lock. It just looks like it sits lower down because the way it sits against my head. Now I tend to rest my elbows on the table and it makes my movements smaller. And what you'll do, you'll see by the way my hand's moving that you do a sort of scooping motion to help grab the lock and pull it in. And you, with experience, you soon learn when you're breaking hair. You don't want to be breaking hair, okay? You do not want to be breaking the shafts of your hair length. Okay, the idea is to pull it inside the dread, not break it off and pull it inside. It's still attached to my scalp. That's why anybody who has a dread installation done will tell you it hurts, because locticians tend to go quite tight so that you look neat for that little bit longer before your hair starts to grow out. It will lock as it grows. You don't have to do this. It's just you can do this if you don't like all the loose hair. So you can see there I've pulled it in. I need to pull it in a little bit more. And up here as well there's a bit of a loop. I tend to pull it quite tight because when I let go it does loosen a little bit. The more you crochet, the tighter it will get as well. You have to excuse this eye. I got some dye in it while I was rinsing it out earlier on, and it's going through the hole. I'm abused, and you know it's a bit sore. It'll be alright by tomorrow. But move the dread itself as well. Don't just move your hook. Bend the dread to aid in the scooping of the loose hairs inside. There you go. That's a little bit better. And another thing you can do is like roll it like so, and that helps tidy it up as well. See, see, but I still got a little bit just there. Can you see at the top? So I will again pick up my hook, make sure it's around the right way. Maintenance on your own dreads takes hours, which is why I try to do a little bit every day. Otherwise you just end up with it looking like this, really, which is a fucking mess, because like I say, my own dreads are very, very messy. So my own hair tends to be quite fluffy. See, you can see that, that's my own hair. That's where the extension starts, just inside there. And then I've dreaded my own hair to it. This is why extensions fall out, because the ends are fluffy. It can be a little bit more brutal with the synthetics, because, you know, they're not real hair. But you have to kind of make your own hair go into it. So I need to, on this one, there's like a weak spot there, I can feel it. That may end up coming apart actually. If it comes apart, all I do is I floof up the ends and then I try and dread them together again. This has got a thin spot on it. I meant to save some of Daryl's haircut for repairs because I knew I had some of this, but I forgot. I've already thrown it all away. I knew I meant to save it and I completely forgot. But yeah, there's like a thin spot just there. As long as I'm okay and careful with it, it should be alright. Okay, so I've got, you'll get lumps and bumps with natural dreads. I don't mind these. I don't mind lumps and bumps. If you do, if you like them to look uniform like this, and you don't want your lumps and your bumps like this, hold the lump or the bump and do what you do with the loose hairs. Pull it into the dread. Okay. Now, you can go quite fast, but if you don't know what you're doing, please don't go fast, because you're going to end up breaking the hair. And I know that there's a bit of grey hair there. Quite frankly, I completely forgot about it when I was dyeing it earlier. So, you know, you just keep doing that. Palm roll it. and pull it in. Like I said, I don't mind the textures, but yeah, and that will get rid of any lumps and bumps. I like them, you know, to me they're it's character. That one. See, that's just, to me, that's got character. So I've got this extra bit of hair here, which has probably escaped from a dread. And I'm sort of in two minds what to do with it. I could suck it all into this dread here, which is probably what I should do. But I'm quite tempted to try and make a baby dread. It's been a while since I've had a baby dread. And that root isn't overly thin, so it's not like it needs any more to aid in the strength of the holding the length of the dread. So you can see all of this is loose hair. That all needs to be pulled into dreads, but I hate doing it. I'm lazy, so I don't do it. I do it every now and then I get pissed off because it took me so long, even though I love how it looks when it's done. So yeah, now I've got somewhere, if I can find it, on my desk of messiness. Because if I can't find it, then we ain't doing this. Oh, I've got to find something else. A little blue comb. The best thing to use is a metal toothed flea comb, believe it or not. Or knit comb, because the tines are so freaking close together. So let me just quickly put a couple of things away and I'll see if I can see it. My desk is so messy, you guys. And now I'm caught around my head. This is dumb. The thing is, it lives on my desk, so it's like it's staring me in the face. Well, it was last time I was looking for it as well. This is what happened with my wallet. And just when I was like, fucked off, it appeared. Somehow I don't think my comb's going to do that. This is what my life is like. Oh, for fuck's sake. I wonder if it's in the other room. Hang on, I'll go and have a look. Okay, I can't find it. So I've got this tiny plastic comb, which is so weak. It's fucking bendy and I'll probably break it in about 2 seconds flat. But, you know, if my comb didn't keep fucking walking away, or, you know, I was a bit tidier. So, yeah, what you do is you get all your other hair out of the way, because dreads love to stick together. Okay, now, if you have a long enough dread, you can tie them up. I don't think that one's going to be quite long enough. It might be. Or you know, use a hairband or something. I haven't got one to hand. But dreads tie themselves up quite handily. Okay. So the first thing you'll want to do is back comb this bit of hair. Unfortunately, I've got all black behind me, so if I turn ever slightly like that, you really need more hair than this. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this because it's quite thin hair. Oops. Until it's got that kind of, you know, 1980s type hair look to it. I tend to fold it a little bit just to give it a little bit more stability. This is really thin. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this without ripping my fingers to shreds. And even then it probably won't hold because it's so thin. I did this a lot when I first did dreads because my sectioning wasn't even. So as my hair grew, I would end up with like loads of spare hair in between, and I would try and put it in one dread and it would make the section feel massive, or it would pull, so I'd have to like pull it back out again, and in the end I was like, oh, we might as well just make a dread. And I remember I sat one afternoon doing maintenance and I ended up with like 3 new baby dreads on top of my head. There you go. See, it shrinks a lot. This is quite a large root area, so I don't know whether this is going to stick. But it's the same sort of process. Suck the loose hairs into the dread. Like so. There you go, baby dread. I'm not too worried about it looking neat at the moment, but just to get it dreaded to give me a starting base. So yeah, if you are, just fold the hair up and pull it all in. Like you did on the maintenance that you just did. It's exactly the same process to make one as it is to... There you go. So I'm going to leave that. That's going to be my new dread, and we're going to see over the course of my vlogs how well or how quickly that grows. I'm thinking of starting to take some like biotin. What else was it that somebody... I was watching somebody the other day, and she recommended biotin tablets, and hang on while I just look it up because I saved it. But they're so expensive, aren't they? Because, pardon me, I'm drinking fizzy. I'm being naughty. Yeah, because biotin promotes hair growth. And I am declaring myself as officially menopausal because I skipped my January period, and I appear to have skipped my March period as well. I've had 1 period this year so far. So yeah, take biotin. Oh, and collagen peptide powder. So I figured I could probably, and that's really expensive. That's like a 16-ounce tub. It's got no flavour in it, and that's £35 or £34.14. So I'm like, ugh. And the biotin, it's a year's supply though, and that's £19. So I thought that actually was really, really good as well. So I might get that, and it's just a tablet, I think. And that's biotin hair growth supplement with coconut oil, zinc and selenium, 365 vegan tablets, 1 year supply, 10,000 micrograms of vitamin B7 beauty complex for hair, skin and nail health in women and men. It's made in the UK as well, which is, you know, brilliant. And then the collagen peptides powder is 16 ounces, hydrolyzed type 1 and 3 collagen, non-GMO verified, certified paleo friendly and gluten free friendly, so it won't fuck with my stomach, which is good. So I'm sort of thinking, well, both of those might be beneficial to me, because I've noticed as well this year my skin is a lot drier. I'm using more moisturisers, especially here around my nose and all of that. And when you suffer with a skin condition anyway, like I do, I was wondering why I was having trouble seeing. I've got my glasses on. When you suffer from a skin condition like I do, I have psoriasis. Anything that throws your balance off will make your skin condition worse. Now, I shouldn't be drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm allergic to caffeine, which makes my skin... I was supposed to take a tablet and I forgot. This to remind me. Which makes, you know, my skin a lot worse anyway. But, I mean, this is my arm. You know. It doesn't itch. Well, it does sometimes. Funnily enough, I itch where I don't have it. I started to scratch due to stress after Stuart died, and I would scratch the top of my arms where I've never had psoriasis, and I scratched it so much that I've actually caused psoriasis on my arms. Can you see up there? And I've done that on both arms. I just used to sit and scratch, and my mum said, "You're scratching. Why are you scratching? There's nothing there." And I said, "I don't know. So my arms itch," and my doctor said it was stress. But you can see, like, the light is fucking it up. It's like gone white with the scabs. I'd like to know, can anybody read that? Do you know what that says? You're not allowed to answer if you know what it says, like Kaz and L. You're not allowed to answer it. So try reading it that way, tilt your head as well. Try reading it that way. It's an ambigram. If you know what it says, you win the internet. I don't know. So yeah, I was wondering if the collagen and the biotin would help my psoriasis as well. But like I said, it's 35 quid for that collagen. So I'm thinking I don't know how long it would last, because I don't know how much to have. So it says here, it's one of the most important nutrients needed to ensure the health and vitality of your skin, hair, tendon, cartilage, bones and joints. Now, I'm hypermobile as well. So, you know, consume in warm or room temperature water. Can also be added to oatmeal, yogurt, soups or sauces. Helpful hack: to enjoy in cold water without clumping, mix in room temperature water and then add ice. Packaging may vary. Real certifications. Many companies claim to be, but our collagen powder is actually third-party certified by the Paleo and Keto Foundation and non-GMO verified by the IGEN. What's that? IGEN? I'm never sure. Program. $11 grams per serving. Okay, so how many is that? Like, how many servings in the whole thing? How many ounces in a gram? See, I don't know. They tell you it's 16 ounces and then it's like 11 grams per serving. Oh, 454 grams. So, 454 grams divided by the 11 grams per serving is going to give me about 6 weeks worth of shakes. That's the collagen powder that you can add into food and drinks. Yeah, 1 scoop is approximately 11 grams. Serving, let's see if I'd bother to look at all the pictures. Servings per container, about 40. There's a scoop inside. I don't know, I think I might try the biotin tablets for a bit and then add the collagen in at a later date, you know. I mean, it says, you know, you do subscribe and save, and you save all of 95p. But then my first delivery wouldn't be until the 30th, so what's the point of that? I might order it this week. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and have a bath. My hair goes up in a bun for that. Would you like to see how I put my hair in a bun? I don't know whether this is something I've shown you before. I think I did a video on it yonks ago on how to do it, but I'm going to show you guys as well. So I normally do this standing up, so I'm going to sort of perch on the edge of my chair. Now the idea is, and I'm doing it now before I add those extensions in because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it because there'll be so much more hair. So the idea is that you get most of your hair. Do not get the lower line of locks. Okay, so you want all of your bottom hairline of locks to be down. You want at least 4. I tend to pull down a few more just to give it a little bit of extra strength. I have to roll because I can't get my head around the whole lot, so I go from side to side just to help hold it all up. Okay, and then you leave that bottom layer down. That was a bit crinkly. Let's stay at that. You leave that bottom layer down, and with what you've got in your hands, twist it. Doesn't matter which way, whichever way is more comfortable for you. But if you're going to wrap that way, then you want to twist your hair that way. So I'm going to go from the root and then I'm going to go that way around my head. So I'm twisting my ponytail in my hands anti-clockwise. If you were looking at the back of my head, I'm tilting it anti-clockwise. So if I was going to wrap the other way, I would tilt it the other way. You don't want to make it too high, but you don't also, conversely, you don't want to make it too low. Now, what you do is you grab all these fucking annoying stupid little bits, because my hair's all different lengths, and you bring it round in a bun. You don't want to wrap it too tight. When you twist it, don't make it too tight, otherwise you won't be able to wrap it because it will hurt, it will be uncomfortable. And so I've actually made that quite high. I don't normally go that high. Don't worry about all the loose ones. And then when you get round, tuck all your ends in, like so. Okay, and just tuck the ends. Okay, all these ends, tuck them in as well. Now I can normally let go of my bun at this point. You may or may not be able to. It might feel like it's going to come undone. Now what you want to do is separate that the lower lot that you've just had, okay? The locks on one side, you're going to cross them over to the other side and then come up and around your dread, around the base of the bun, okay? Pull it nice and tight and also tuck those in, alright? Tuck them all in, all the loose hairs as you go and tuck them in to your bun. Then reach around with your left hand over here and grab these ones and do the same with that one. And if you've got like little bits hanging down, you can sort of snag them in the bun as you go round. And tuck those in as well. This long one isn't being pulled tight because, like I say, it's made of Darryl hair and it's quite delicate. And there you go. No clips required. That's my little baby dread that we just made there. I'm not 100% happy with that because it feels like it's... I don't think it should have this bit. I might... because that's awfully high up on my head. So I may have to break that because I've made it too tight. I may have to make 2 tiny dreads. You don't want a dread base to cover a huge area
because if it does, it will pull. So these ones that I've just pulled out of it, I'll probably tuck those into another dread a bit later on. So that's the little one. So you can take the opportunity while all the hair's up, which I should have probably done before, to you know, tighten that. Basically what this is going to look like for a while is a load of loose hairs with a ball of dread on the end. You know, it may hold, it may not. We'll just have to see. So yeah, I'm going to leave that like that. Got an itch right under where I can't reach it. Oh bugger, I inserted the wrong end. Yeah, I'm going to go have a bath, and then when I come back down, I'm going to put some of those in, and we'll see how that looks. Okay. Always forget to empty the sodding bath after he's been in it. And now I have to empty it all out. Oh, the kids. Why did I have so much crap in the bath in the first place? You know? And he still loves ducks, mainly because Stuart gives them to him. Oh, that's a giant spider plug. So yeah, now I can get in it. A little bit of amazing. Actually, that was quite a lot. And then to aid the moisture, I add some baby oil. Everything feel nice. Now it's 11:30. And I want to go get to bed because we've got to be up early. So I'm going to stick all this on the computer to export and all that lot while I pack Daryl's bag for school. And I'll do my hair. If I've got time, I'll do it in the morning before we go to school. If not, I'll do it after school run. So yeah, have a great night, and see you tomorrow. Bye.